That's the treatment facility down 44 West.
Oh, the new
It's in the
one in the
church.
TLC. That's like right by my house.
We'll see what happens in a few years.
Yeah.
When they get busted and
What is this, Mark?
Mark Weird.
Weird. Okay. I'm like, I can't read that. Okay. Thank you.
Well, good morning and welcome to the Bullitt County Fiscal. Good morning, everybody. There you go. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Bullitt County Fiscal Court. Today is April the 15th, 2025. At this time, Mr. Mooney, Kevin, please, would you lead us in an invocation and a pledge of allegiance, please, sir?
Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you today in this meeting here for our local community, and we pray that you would bless this court and the members of it, that the work they do will be pleasing to you and for the good of the people here in our community. We pray that we always remember that you are in charge no matter what, and ultimately that your ways should be our ways. Watch over this group, bless them in the work that they do. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Kevin. Thanks, Keith. At this time, Sam, if you'll call the roll to bring the court to order, please.
Mayor Sanders. Present. Sean Lawson.
Yes.
Karen Johnson. Here. Brian Leemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Here.
All present.
Thank you. Approval of the minutes, April the 1st, 2025, Bullitt County Fiscal Court meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I have a motion by First District Magistrate Sanders, a second by Second District Magistrate Logsdon to approve the minutes of Bullitt County Fiscal Court, April 1st of 2025 as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Bleemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. The Treasurer's Transfer Report. Canan?
Yes, Judge, and that was dated for April the 15th of 2025, and also it would include an intra-fund cash transfer dated for April the 15th of 2025.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we approve the treasurer's transfer report as presented.
Second.
Got a motion by Third District Magistrate Johnson, a second by Fourth District Magistrate Bleemel to approve the Treasurer's transfer report as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Bleemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Presentation and approval of all bills.
I make a motion that we approve all bills as presented.
I second.
Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by First District Magistrate Sanders to approve the bills as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Bleemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Treasurer's report. Canan.
Yes, Judge, that included the appropriation condition report, a revenue condition report, a liability report, an intra-fund cash transfer report, financial statement through March the 31st of 2025, and as reported to the Department of Local Government.
I make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Got a motion by Second District Magistrate Logsdon, a second by Third District Magistrate Johnson to approve the Treasurer's report as presented. Sam, call the roll, please.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logsdon?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Bleemel?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Guest speakers, we have quite a few. Mike and Don, I can't read what you've written the last name. Come on up here. From Alpha Ministries. How are y'all today? Good to see you again.
Good morning, good to see you.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to come and share just briefly. Alpha Ministries Reach, Rescue, and Restore has officially cut the ribbon on our ministry. We've actually been active in the community since January, but we officially had our ribbon cutting on Friday, so thank you to all that came out and then the outpouring of support that we've received since opening. What Alpha Ministries is, for those of us that don't know, is it's a residential recovery center for men that struggle with drug and alcohol addictions. We are unapologetically faith-based. It's a 6 to 12-month program. We actively have 11 men in the program and then a couple of leaders that are peer support specialists that stay there on campus. And we offer GED courses, telehealth with our, what's the room?
We have an education
Our
lab,
education
and we partner with Kentucky Works. So they actually come to our facility and they help our guys get work ready. They'll help them with resumes. They actually will provide uniforms if they need it. Once they get to a certain level in the program, they can also get 2 months worth of like their salary paid somewhere in the community. So we've recently partnered with them. We have 2 of our guys that are in that program. We have, let's see, we can house 38 men. So being quickly opened, we're, almost halfway to that number. So we had a couple of men that were able to speak at our ribbon cutting. If you were able to see that, you could really see the impact that we're making being here in the community. 2 of the guys that spoke are actually, they're from Shepherdsville. Their parents still live in Shepherdsville. And, they're grateful that we have this program here that's able to help restore them back to who they used to be.
We also had an opportunity to get them out in the community with the flood relief. Some of the guys that they're actively rebuilding their lives, they were actually being able to help in the community with the flooding that happened. So that was a blessing too as well.
We're also working on being a food resource to Shepherdsville. From what I've noticed, we've got a food resource in Hillview and also one in Lebanon Junction, but those who live in Shepherdsville have to either travel to either place. So it would be nice to have something housed here in Shepherdsville. We've turned in our application to Dare to Care, and we're waiting to hear back from them on that. So that's another resource that we'll offer to the community. We have already offered some, even though, like he said, we didn't have our ribbon cutting and opening until March. We were able to offer some holiday turkey, Thanksgiving, and Christmas baskets around that time. So that is our goal, just to kind of be a resource to help. Even though we are residential for men, we still are going to provide resources to women and children and even veterans that need assistance. We have resources from what he's been doing for the last 10 years that we can provide to individuals even though we don't house those individuals. So we want to just be a resource hub for anybody in the community that needs that assistance.
Okay, very good. And thank you all for supporting the flood relief here in Shepherdsville as well.
It was an honor.
It was a pleasure, yeah.
Yep. Okay. All
Where
right.
you want located again?
964 Highway 44, about a mile down the road.
On the right-hand side, Sean, right before you get to the
Trinity
open
Life
field.
Center.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Our ministry's
you're
leasing
upstairs.
9,000 square feet on the second floor of the church.
Yep.
Okay.
And we're open for tours. If any of you all would like to come by, if you haven't already seen it, please come by and take a look.
Mike and Don, I was able to attend the ribbon cutting. I was very impressed with all got going on over there.
Thank you.
How do y'all fund it?
So a lot of the money that we've been funded so far has came out of our own pockets. We know that the Lord has called us to do what we're doing, so any way possible. We also have some private donors that generously are part of what we're doing. We've got a few small grants that she writes herself, that Walmart, I think, has given us a few small grants. So fundraisers, we were actually, the only time I've ever seen it, blessed with an opportunity to set up a table at Texas Roadhouse over on Outer Loop. We've got 2 more of those scheduled as well. So setting up tables and just talking to people in the community and just trying to garner the support that we're going to need to help continue our efforts.
We had a Valentine's Gala that was, I think, pretty successful for our first one. We ended up with 22 couples, and we have a great chef over here, and everyone loved the food, which is always important to us because we've been to galas where the food's not so great. So we just try to make sure we have good food, and I think it was pretty good turnout. We've got a golf scramble coming up on May 9th, so if you like to golf, just come check it out and support us that way.
It'll be at the Crossings May 9th. Yeah, host sponsors, yeah.
Do you all have a website, Facebook page?
We do.
Anything somebody
We
can
do.
follow?
We have all of the above. Our website is www.am3r.org. And then our Facebook page is Alpha Ministries Reach, Rescue, and Restore.
For the 3 R's. For the 3 R's.
Yes.
Yes.
That's
You
where
got
we shortened it down a little bit.
AM3R.
AM3R.
Yep. Okay. Well, it was a great tour. Thank you all for your,
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We appreciate you stopping by.
yes, ma'am.
Thank y'all for coming in.
Mark? Help me with your last name.
Weird.
Weird. Gotcha. Okay.
The only thing my father gave me.
There you go. I hear you.
So just to go along with what they were saying, we have needs that's current, but we also have long-term goals. Our desire one day is to own a whole facility where we can not just help men, but help women, help people with food insecurities. But in addition, we have classes 3 times a week for AA, and everything that we're doing right now is non-funded. So we're looking for every place we can go to get help, because we're trying to serve our community, because we know how many people out there are being overlooked, they're not getting what they need. And so the more help we get, the more we can do, but we're gonna move anyways. We're just trying to find people to help us move faster.
Okay.
So
All
we
right.
appreciate any help we can get.
Thank you. You're pastor or minister?
I'm the associate pastor and I'm the
Associate.
president of the,
Gotcha. Just wanted to make sure.
I'm the
For
shop.
clarity. All right. Gotcha. Okay. David Brayley?
My name is David Rayleigh. I work for the road department here, so I work
Yep.
for fiscal court. It was a great opportunity that I was given by you guys, and God began to do a work in my life last year, and I made contact with Don and Mike and Mark at the church, and I've been in AA for probably almost 10 years, and able to start an AA program at the church here. And just watching these men grow, being on the floor with them every day teaching class, you see the need we have here. And I'm not from Shepherdsville, but by a set of circumstances that I couldn't control, God has pulled me here. And I love Jesus with all my heart. And I know today that I'm standing in the place where I'm supposed to be at. And there is a great need that we have for funding just to make the things happen, the dreams that we have. And it's a great need out here just in addiction. Like, you don't see it. So the AA we started, we get men that come in at night. That's not part of the program. And so I went to the meetings around here just to kind of check, and I think that the biggest meeting they have is probably 10 people on a Saturday here. We have about 30, between 25 and 30 every time. So we've already grown to 3 times what Bullitt County had. So that tells me there's a bigger need than there are meetings here. And just to have a place to where men can go, like me, to have an opportunity to now work for Fiscal Court when I spent a lot of years in jail. I mean, it's been amazing to be given that opportunity, but there's also other men that need it. Mm-hmm. There's a great need for them to grow and become good members of society. And without the funding, we lack that ability. Like, I work at the road department so that I can minister at night, and that's become my life. I only do that so I can do this. Like, my whole vision of my life has changed. Everything I do is so that I can carry this message of hope to people that don't have it. So I just want other people to have that opportunity. So if there's any way that you can help, we would appreciate it.
Okay. And David, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in and sharing your testimony. It means a lot, and it's good to hear.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. The Kentucky Emergency Management is going to be tabled for this time, May 6th. We'll have our drone footage and a detailed report from Justin and some of the supporting agencies as well. Windstream at this time, please.
Good morning, and
Morning.
happy tax day.
There you go.
I do have some good news for y'all today. As you can see here, I've got my team, Corey Salzman, Lincoln Bingham, Travis Roberts, and Joe Vertrees back in the back. You've become quite familiar with them over the past couple year or so as they've been giving you updates on our project. And we are here today to announce that the project that the public-private partnership that we entered into with Bullitt County on September 25th, 2023 is now complete. It has enabled 6,300 homes with fiber internet. These homes are eligible to reach at least 2 gig of fiber, which if you're familiar with that, 2 gigs a lot, but that is eligible. It was a $6.8 million partnership between the county and Windstream. Bullitt County put in $2 million. Windstream put in $4.8 million for this project. So it is complete. We put down 170 miles of fiber throughout the county in these areas. The areas are Cedar Grove, Solitude, and Brownington. So this map kind of shows you where the areas are. From the looks of our customers, your constituents are very excited.
Good.
This is one of the fastest growing communities for us as far as sales and customers go. It's probably our number one market. So thank you all so much. We are so happy to have completed this and be a partner with you all. And we do have some news coming up probably in the next month or so that will complete this map and make it even better.
Okay.
So if you all have any questions, I've got the team here. We'd be happy to answer anything you have.
Okay, Stephanie.
It's been completed for a little while though, right?
Pardon me?
It's been completed for
It has
like
a couple months,
right?
but there's some splicing and qualifying that has to go on, so we wanted to make sure that all of that was complete before we announced it complete.
And then you still had more time on your deadline also, right?
Well, the deadline was back in February, so it was completed on time. The flooding and the weather kind of, it would have been complete a little earlier, but that kind of slowed us down with all the snow and the rain and things like that.
Do you have any idea when it might be in West Park of Bullitt County?
The West Park,
Like the west of 65, like 44 Hill. or
Yes,
St.
yeah,
Mark's
44 Hill.
okay, more to come on that. Yes,
All right.
but we do have some good news. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate everyone's hard work and your all's updates throughout the project. I know you've been here several times giving us updates, and we really appreciate it. And when I see the equipment out there and going under driveways, and it's a big job. It's, you all have done a good job. And I know my area, a lot of people's taking advantage of it. I see people switching a lot all the time. So.
We've been very busy. We've brought techs in from other areas of the state.
Yeah.
Had them staying in hotels and stuff to help install all the fiber. I think we've had at least 1,700 new customers already.
I was wondering if there's a way to track how many people switched services. Do y'all have any idea?
Well, from the last 12 months, we're at about 1,700 net adds, so that's the number that we're left with after disconnects.
Okay,
So
okay.
the non-pays or whatever, when those are disconnected, we're left with that 7. So we've got more new customers than that by the time you look at the whole thing.
And
Okay.
that number does not include people that upgrade. Service that are upgraded, that maybe had a copper service before, that are
Okay.
eligible for upgrade. So that number doesn't even include
Okay.
that.
So it's been very successful so far. You've got a lot more fine folks in Bullitt County on fiber now with good internet access
Right.
than you did
Yeah.
year and a half ago.
Okay.
Huge difference.
Well, and you know, to your all's credit, this was a big project,
Yep.
and you all, we got together and worked some things out, and you know, it's you've done a great job for your constituents, and so you know, you should be proud of that.
Absolutely.
And anybody up here that, or in here that has the service, if you call and you do the automatic pay deduct, you get $5 off every month. I just figured that out yesterday. They wouldn't prorate it for me, they would go back, but
Okay.
you might want to call and save you an extra $5.
And we've got an app you can download on your phone, go to Connect app, and instead of sitting on hold or calling a 1-800 number, you can chat in with agents and stuff. So it's pretty handy too.
There's a lot of cool features in that app.
Pay your
Yep.
bill on there, see everything, test your service, communicate with our agents, upgrade service, pay your bill, all be done through that app.
Mhm.
So, and that all works well with, paired with the fiber, and it's a good thing for folks.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any more
Again, thank you. I mean, the internet is part of infrastructure, especially fiber optic.
Sounds like we might be seeing you all soon. I guess you can't let the cat out of the bag yet. But
questions? Yeah, stay tuned.
Hurry up.
Thank
Okay.
you
Well,
all.
thanks a lot.
Can't wait to see you again.
Thank you all.
Do you want me to keep this map?
Sure, if you don't mind.
Yep.
There you go. Keith Griffin, KIPS update.
This is, I think we did this last quarter as well, to kind of keep you all apprised of everything going on with KIPTA. As you all know, our relationship with KIPTA has gone, we've really expanded that than we have in the last year. And so I just wanted to give each of you all have a copy of this, but I was just going to hit some of the highlights. And before I do, one of the things too with Alpha Ministries, I went and did the tour with these folks a while ago, pre-flood. And working with them, and we have connected Alpha Ministries with KIPTA. That there is a grant program specifically for them that could be a real change for these guys. So that's another thing that our relationship with KIPTA has done, is we've been able to help some folks like this, and hopefully we'll see some real progress with that. A couple of things I wanted to touch on, and you all can go through this, but the things that are really big, just to be real brief. A couple of things that we've done, the Lebanon Junction, we try to hit all the areas of the county. The city of Shepherdsville has a vote on KIPTA, as does Mount Washington. So they get a lot of things themselves, but we try to cover the entire county. But Lebanon Junction got a couple of things. The flood pumping station, an investment of about $70,000 for construction on that. And then something else that they did that they can do for all of our communities, but we did Lebanon Junction first, is a community snapshot. And what they did is they took a drone, sent some people in, did almost like a commercial for Lebanon Junction to show what are some of the really cool things. I think, Mayor, I think you've seen this. We've sent it out, and it's a really neat program that we can use not only for the cities, like the mayor and his city council can see some of the things they have, but we can also use it as a marketing tool. And I've been working with economic development now, and it's a great tool that we can bring some folks in and say, hey, here's what we have down here. So that's something that they've been able to do. The Shepherdsville wastewater treatment plant, they did an environmental review. That was some of the things for Shepherdsville. The Land and Water Conservation Fund did a preliminary, it's a grant, I think it's a matching grant, and they got a preliminary approval for Hillview City Park for some equipment up there. Now again, that's preliminary, and what happens with these grants is when you get preliminary, it means there are other things that they have to find out before you get the check. So that's where that comes in. A couple of the bigger things that I also wanted to touch on, of course, roads are a big part of this. And we did have a call for projects. And KIPTA did this years and years ago, and then they stopped doing it. When there was extra money, they would just roll that over. Well, myself and some other people on the transportation board, the judge being on the executive committee, we said that we need to spend the money, quit rolling it over.
Right.
So we're going to have continual call for projects when this happens. We had the first one, and we got 3 projects out of it. One was just a continuation of some things in Shepherdsville with Conestoga, some studies and things like that. But we did get 2 new projects. One was in Mount Washington, was the Main Street, the historic multi-use trail segment, which is the main road there on 31 that they have. The big one for us, for Bullitt, for the county, was that we got from US 31E to Kentucky 2706, Greenbrier. We've got a study in. There was a study done in 2012. It's too old. You can't use it.
Right.
But what we've done is we've taken this. We've also re-identified the roads along there so that they are eligible now for federal grants. They weren't before because of the way they were the segments that they were put into. So through this call for projects, we were able to do that. We're going to have a study where we can widen Greenbrier from 44 all the way to Landis Lake. Mm-hmm. So that's where we're going with this. So those are the big ones. We also have completed all the preliminary steps for the Safe Streets for All grant. Right. That's a huge undertaking, to be honest with you. We've had the Sheriff's Department, EMS, EMA, all these folks. We've had the cities involved. We have identified there are 42 very dangerous roads as far as accidents are concerned for either death or serious injury. And we've narrowed these down. We're going to start working on those. But there are grants that we're going to be going against everybody in the country. But we think we've got a pretty good program with that, and we finished the preliminary studies on that. Hopefully, by the fall, we'll know if we got money and which roads we can work on. Mm-hmm. And a couple of them are like West 44. I know Vera asked about that. That's one that we've put in there. Very dangerous road. Not a lot of accidents on there compared to other roads, but because of where it is, you can use economic development. And I know there are things that people want to do down that way, some growth that way. 61 is another one that's going to be a part of this, 245, and of course 44. So that's kind of the KIPTA update in a nutshell. If there's any questions or comments.
Thank you for the update.
Yeah. Thank you, Keith.
Thanks.
Hammond. Second reading for zoning ordinance 25-11, Robert and Roxy Clark.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-11, an ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. Property in question is 1.11 acres, more or less, located at 8404 Cedar Grove Road, parcel number 072-000-00-058A, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of a public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, the more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2025Z-05, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025, given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
I make a motion that we approve zoning ordinance 2511, Robert and Roxy Clark.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Claymore, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logston to accept Planning and Zoning's recommendation for 25-11, Robert and Roxy Clark. Sam, call the roll, please.
Sanders.
Yes.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Flemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you, Tammy. Second reading, zoning ordinance 25-12, Ricky Kramer.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-12, an ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 3 acres, more or less, located at 7315 Beach Grove Road, parcel number 038-000-00-035, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission, in docket number 2025Z-06, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be effective and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025, given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
I make a motion that we approve zoning ordinance 2512, Ricky Kramer.
I'll second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Blamel, a second by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson to approve Planning and Zoning's recommendation for zoning ordinance 25-12. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Flemel.
Yes.
Judge Summers.
Yes.
Sanders.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Second reading for zoning ordinance 25-13, Danny and Robin Kennel.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-13. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from agricultural to R1 residential. The property in question is 10 acres, more or less, located at 556 High Ridge Road, parcel number 064-000-00-015B, in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2025Z-12, is hereby changed from agricultural to R1 residential. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025, given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
Make a motion, we approve zoning ordinance 2513, Danny and Robin Tennell.
I'll second.
Got a motion by 4th District Magistrate Blemo, a second by 1st District Magistrate Sanders to accept Planning and Zoning's recommendation for zoning ordinance 25-13. Sam, call the roll, please.
Johnson?
Yes.
Blemo?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Second reading for zoning ordinance 25-14. Laura F. Glass.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-14. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from R1 residential to agricultural. The property in question is 0.6 acres more or less, located at 285 Wallace Drive, parcel number 053-000-00-077C in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky. Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, the more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2025Z-13, is hereby changed from R1 residential to agricultural. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025, given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Bullitt County Ordinance 2025Z-13.
I'll second that.
Got a motion by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson, a second by 2nd District Magistrate Logston to accept Planning and Zoning's recommendation for zoning ordinance 25-14.
Was it 14?
It's okay. Sam, call the roll, please.
Blemo?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Second reading for zoning ordinance 25-15. Laura F. Glass.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-15. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from R1 residential to agricultural. The property in question is 0.5736 acres more or less, located at Wallace Drive, parcel number 053-000-00-077D in an unincorporated area of the county. Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission and the recommendations of the Commission, the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2025Z-14, is hereby changed from R1 residential to agricultural. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
I'll make a motion that we approve Bullitt County Ordinance 25-14. 15, okay.
It's okay.
I'll second.
See, I have 15 as four.
It's 14.
She's just a slide behind me.
Yeah,
We just did 14.
Yeah, you're reading the Planning Commission docket number.
right. Okay. So I have a motion by Third District Magistrate Johnson, and a second by Vera. Thank you, Brian. First District Magistrate
Don't you know what's going on?
Sanders to approve zoning ordinance 25-15. Laura B. Miller. We just did glass. This one's Miller. Yes, there you go. Sam, call roll.
Judge Summers,
Yes.
Sanders,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Flemmel,
Yes.
motion carried.
14.
Thank you. Tammy, zoning ordinance 25-16.
Commonwealth of Kentucky, County of Bullitt, zoning ordinance number 25-16. An ordinance relating to the changing of zoning of certain property from R1 residential to agricultural. The property in question is 17 acres more or less, located at 133 Wallace Drive, parcel number 053-000-00-077 in an unincorporated area of the county.
Yeah.
Whereas the Fiscal Court of Bullitt County has considered the evidence of the public hearing held by the Joint Planning Commission
That's
and
how
the
I do this.
recommendations of the
Who
Commission,
makes the motion?
the information provided in the staff report of the Office of Bullitt County Planning and Zoning, and the testimony and evidence presented at the public hearing held by the Fiscal Court, and whereas the Fiscal Court concurs in and adopts the reasons of the Joint Planning Commission for said zoning change, and approves and accepts the recommendations of the Planning Commission in this matter as set out in said minutes, and determines that the proposed zoning change is acceptable and should be approved. Now therefore be it ordained by the Fiscal Court of County of Bullitt, Commonwealth of Kentucky, Section 1, that the above property located in the unincorporated area of Bullitt County, and more particularly described in the minutes and records of the Planning Commission in docket number 2025Z-15, is hereby changed from R1 residential to agricultural. Section 2, this ordinance shall take effect upon passage and publication as required by law. Section 3, should any section, provision, or part of this ordinance be declared unconstitutional or invalid for any reason by a court of competent jurisdiction, then the remainder of this ordinance shall not be affected and shall remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances and resolutions to the extent they are inconsistent herewith are hereby repealed. Given first reading and public hearing at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the first day of April 2025. Given second reading at a regular meeting of the Bullitt County Fiscal Court on the 15th day of April 2025.
Thank you, Tammy.
I'd like to make a motion that we approve Bullitt County Ordinance 25-16. Linda and Barry Horton.
Second.
Got a motion by 3rd District Magistrate Johnson, a second by 4th District Magistrate Blamel to accept Planning and Zoning's recommendation for zoning ordinance 25-16. Sam, call the roll, please.
Sanders,
Yes.
Logston,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Flemmel,
Yes.
Judge Summers,
Thank you. The amendment for the ordinance 24-15, we're going to table that to the next meeting. Number 8, the interlocal agreement between Hardin and Bullitt County regarding emergency medical services for West Point, Kentucky. Y'all have had that for a couple of weeks. Tammy's had it. It's to make sure that we, Tammy, you see anything?
Yeah, it's fine,
Good deal.
perfectly acceptable.
Good deal. I'm going to put that in the form of a motion. It's for West Point in particular. We have an ambulance service at Nichols that can get to the folks in West Point in 6 to 8 minutes versus 20 minutes for Hardin County. And we have space in our, we have the bandwidth in our system to be able to handle what calls that they do need.
I'll second.
I have a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll, please.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Weemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. New hires and promotions. We have a EMT going to advanced. Well, come on up, Chris. Sorry.
Come up for any questions.
Okay. It's Erica Stewart. She's going from a part-time EMT to a part-time advanced EMT effective 4/1/25, from 2142 to 2342. If you have questions about it, Chris is here. I'm putting it in the form of a motion.
I'll second.
And I have a second by Second District Magistrate Logston. Sam, call the roll.
Johnson?
Yes.
Weemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. And the next one is Christopher Clater, part-time paramedic, effective April 23rd, 2025, at $27 an hour.
It is,
Yes.
new part-time employee.
Part-time. Yep.
I'll second.
I got a second by Fourth District Magistrate Blamel. Sam, call the roll.
Weemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you all, and if you don't mind, I did get an invoice for our new ambulance late Friday, so I wasn't able to get that in. Do you mind if I present that for approval for a check?
Do what? I didn't hear you. What did you say?
Our new ambulance, do you mind if I present the invoice for approval for a check to
Sure.
be written? I got the invoice late Friday for 200. Let me pull that up real quick, sorry. $275,737. We budgeted for $250. That additional $25,737 is just due to pricing increase since it was ordered. Delivery date for that is April 22nd. We plan on going next week to pick that up.
Okay.
I just need approval for the check to be written so we can deliver it.
It's
Money there and everything, considering the.
Yep. Yep.
I assume it just took them a while to get
Yeah,
price increase to
current
all that.
manufacturer's 3 years out. We've had this one on order for about a year and a half.
Did they not lock that price in? I thought when we budgeted that amount in there for that.
They don't. They give an estimate of what it would cost, and then there's
It's
always
been a while since we've done that, so I can't.
All right.
I'm sorry.
It's been a while since we made that approval, so I can't.
Yeah, there's always the contingency that Ford raises the prices on the chassis or manufacturing parts cost.
Yep.
Well, I'll make a motion. We've got the 250 budgeted, but the 25 is, so I'll make a motion that we approve, you know, the specific, you have the.
Yeah, it's $275,737. Osage Industries.
Uh-huh.
And the check will need to be cut immediately to pick it up, or?
We usually deliver it when we pick the truck up, so that would be April 22nd, next Tuesday.
How do you want me to word that motion?
All right.
I make a motion that the treasurer can cut the check for $275,737 to Osage. I believe is how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Correct. in the last 4 years. I think this will be number 6, I believe.
6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna second Sean's motion. Any other discussion?
Just for clarification, that'll leave us with 4 of the van-type ambulances, which are over 200,000 miles each.
Right.
Don't take long to put the miles on. Seemed like just yesterday we got those. You said the 4 vans have 200,000
And then-
miles or more on them.
And 2 of them are not repairable. We have 3 wrecked. So we're down to the bare minimum. We don't have a spare ambulance right now at all.
You said there had been some wrecks.
Yes,
There's insurance money that's going to be.
someday. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we have a couple of them that's held up by lawsuits. We won't be able to use them for quite the period of time until their insurance companies release them. And yeah. So I have a motion and a second to approve the funding for the new ambulance for EMS. Sam, call the roll.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Flemel?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, animal control, when we're in a state of emergency, they need some help. We've hired part-time kennel attendant at $14.25 an hour, effective 4/9/25. She was hired because we were so short-staffed in what we did need in our state of emergency. And I'm gonna put that in the form of a motion to hire her part-time all the time. I got a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll, please.
Sanders?
Yes.
Logston?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Flemel?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes,
Motion carried.
thank you all. Okay, at this time, Vera, any comments?
No, other than a lot of things that's been going on here in Bullitt County with all the flooding, and we've had some great people volunteering time, Red Cross, EMA, EMS, I mean, it's just a lot of people. And I'd like to thank all of them. And then one other thing I'd like to ask, how's the dog shelter going, the new dog shelter?
They're putting the facade on the front of it as we speak. If we hadn't had drywall on the floor, we could have taken all those 70 animals from across the street and put them up in our high and dry shelter during the flood. I mean, we have great videos of it being high and dry during the entire area, and so it's coming right along, Vera.
Other than that, that's all I've got to say.
Okay.
I'll echo a couple things that Bear said. Obviously, we went through some kind of crazy times with the flooding, and I really want to commend everybody that played a hand and responded to that, from first responders to road department, to the fire department, to the EMS, emergency management, school bus drivers. I mean, there was a lot of people, and I don't want to keep naming because I'll leave somebody out, but there was so many people that really stepped up right here, and it was one of those historic type of floods, so everybody responded really well, and it's amazing. You'll probably talk more about it, but the number of rescues that you were just telling me that occurred right here in our county, and jailer, Brian's here, had to move all the inmates out, and that's a huge task. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts that went on behind the scenes, and I just commend, I think we got an amazing team here at Bullitt County all the way around, and everybody kind of chipped in together to make things happen. Luckily, my area, Mount Washington, wasn't near as bad as other areas of the county, but our thoughts and prayers go out to some of those that are still trying to figure out how to pick the pieces up and put their, families and houses back together and everything like that. But there were a lot of resources, and I think we did a great job of kind of communicating those to the public. Communication is the key, and I know emergency management, they, from our last meeting, got together real quick and you all put together a plan for shelters. So everything seemed to come together, and I really appreciate everybody's hard work behind the scenes to make it happen. I did see something that's new, if you could talk about this just a minute. in our packet. This seems pretty exciting about this new text
Absolutely.
alert.
You can jump right in there.
I don't know a lot about it other than reading it today, but it's really,
Well,
in our packet today was a letter about new text alerts.
Absolutely, and you can go online. It's going to be on our website. It starts Monday. All you got to do is sign up Monday or go to it anytime you want to. It's about, you can hear alerts and things of interest for our county and our community. The text message will be from 80946. Initiating this service. If you choose to opt out, you can text stop, but if not, text yes, and you'll get all the events, closings, severe weather, etc., right on your phone as it happens. So this is part of our effort to communicate what I'm going to say globally, not only to our county, but to surrounding counties and communities as well. So look for it Monday, the 21st, and this is a big effort. It is.
We can post that on our Facebook page and share it out, but there's a new program, Text.gov, get alerts, so emergency alerts. I mean, you can sign up for this and get text messages put out by Bullitt County about road closures, emergency alerts, events, severe weather, all kinds of stuff. So I think that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
But no, I just want to say thank you to everybody. I really appreciate everybody coming out today.
Okay, thank you, Sean. Karen?
I totally agree with everybody with all the flooding and the disasters we've had. Seeing this firsthand has been kind of a rude awakening for, I guess, those of us that live in a better area of town that's not so much affected. But it's been great to watch everybody come together as a team, get it all cleaned up, and I guess Facebook's been very helpful with all the resources, everybody getting together and keeping everybody informed with everything. And just hope everybody can have a little bit of patience with the road damage that's been done. I've been getting a lot of complaints about some potholes, but I guess with all the flooding we've had, that's just the way, nature of the beast with that one. So hopefully our road department get out there and start taking care of some of the roadways in the next day or two. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I know it's going to take a little bit to clean it up, but other than that, just everybody have a happy Easter and hope for some nice, sunny, dry weather.
Right. Thank you, Karen. Brian?
So just everybody keep all the flood victims in your thoughts and prayers, and reach out, or if there's anybody that you know of. I know a lot of people lost about everything. A lot of people were interested. So, but I do know, I think starting next week, flood damage drop-off.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and to help you a little bit with Brian, it starts tomorrow. Yeah, and we've accelerated it. The fencing and all that, I'll chat about all that now if you don't mind. It's one at Shepherdsfield and one at Madison Avenue in Lebanon Junction.
And on that same note, I think hazardous materials.
Hazardous materials too is Saturday as well. Is this Saturday or Friday?
Materials.
Friday and Saturday, yeah. It's 19th, yep.
Over at the go-kart.
Uh-huh.
So on that flood deal, it's my understanding, the way I read it, just in case people don't, it's not open for anybody, the flood drop off. They need to contact us, is that correct? Email, how's that work?
They got to show an ID.
I thought I read somewhere that somebody had to email photos of the damage in to get on a list.
That's on the, that's for FEMA. What we're, okay, so let's
You might
talk about.
clarify that.
Yeah,
I was under the impression if somebody wanted to drop off, so I was sharing on Facebook, if somebody wanted to drop off flood damage, they needed to prove that they had flood damage, just so we're not taking garbage from anybody else. Does that make sense?
I don't know if it came from our post or not, but
Okay.
the whole thing about the flood damage is this. It's the residents in the areas. We went through 46 roads last Friday with FEMA. So we've got a great idea of where the damage is coming
Okay,
from.
so we've got a list of
Yes,
roads with damage, so
we
then
sure
when
do.
they come to drop off, if they're in those areas, they'll need to show their ID.
They'll need to show their ID.
Okay.
And what we're doing, we're putting fencing around the area as well. That way folks can come in there at nighttime and leave garbage and all the associated
Tires and everything.
tires and all. And to help you with that, Brian, we're going to have a separate one just for tires, because you can't believe the amount of tires that we've seen on the sides of that we need to pick up now. We got one at each site that's just designated for tires itself, and the other ones are designated for cleanup. We've contracted Lonnie Ray to do all that because our road department is under what I'm going to say a strict mission right now. We have 180 days to apply now for 3 disasters that we've had in this community back to get through FEMA, and it takes a lot of effort and a lot of support for them to get it done. We'll be giving up staff here to work with Justin and John to make sure that on the individual side of it, we have 30 days to compile all of our information from individuals in their homes to see if we become eligible for individual assistance from FEMA. We're great for public assistance. We're eligible for that. We know that point blank, the number is going to be phenomenal by the time we get done with it on the public assistance side, and that's our responsibility as a fiscal court to fund all that. So in 30 days, we will know if the residents who Justin and them is going to be posting all that today. Yes, today, for a direction for individuals how they can send their information into us, because what we'll be, we won't be a clearinghouse, we'll be a collection source for FEMA to look at. And they've been here with bells on. We were one of 7 counties that had FEMA representatives right off the get-go. Because, and Sean, to help you with that, we did almost 200 rescues, water rescues, during the flooding. Most of them was in the southern end of our county. And I did make a few notes. I do want to thank all the first responders. I'm not going to list them all because we will have them all in here, hopefully May the 6th. For our fiscal court, they need to take a breath right now. They're gathering up. They do what I'm going to say a major debriefing to see what they have done. The volunteers, there's too many to name. I mean, literally, we couldn't ask for a better community to step up. I would like to personally thank, though, Jesse Bacon and Sarah Smith for the use of schools and the quickness, and they were going to keep LJ Elementary closed until we were able to relocate the residents that we had there. But St. Aloysius stepped up, so we have right now 6 families at the community center at St. Aloysius here in Shepherdsville. And we're using St. Benedict, the 2nd floor of their old grade school, if we need it, for distribution of essentials for those imperiled by the flood. I have our staff down there at our EMS building. They're distributing goods and products, cleaners, whatever they need for people to, brawny towels, Clorox, buckets, you name it, for cleaning up your homes. They're distributing it to those who need it. I want to thank Lowe's, both Shepherdsville and Elizabethtown stores. They came to us, they met with us, they're regional and national folks about disasters. They stepped up. I mean, literally at Lebanon Junction, Larry can attest to this, they literally brought half a tractor trailer load of buckets, brooms, mops, you name it. It was all gone by lunchtime, or right at lunchtime. And Southeast Christian, thank them as well. They did the same thing Sunday night. We have quite the resources still there. If you know of anyone who needs those types of cleanup items as well. Will County Chamber of Commerce, they're still distributing in the business community. It's just been daunting in what they've done for us. Lincoln Trail Ad District, we rescued, we'll get the exact numbers, the amount of folks in Hardin and Nelson County as well, from out of our Lebanon Junction. They sent food trucks over, and hot food was well received by all of our first responders KIPTA Ad District, same thing. And thank Jim Beam personally for producing hot meals for over 150 first responders, 2 sets of them, a lunch and a dinner both. Again, we talked about the dumpsters over here at the football field and down at Madsden Avenue and Lebanon Junction. And we will have some type of celebration for these folks. We've had quite a few businesses step up, want to do something for our first responders because they did do so well. The Kentucky Emergency Management was going to be here today to brag on our EMA team. They've been in Callaway County, Breathitt, up in Nashville, North Carolina, back to Frankfort, their central headquarters, and then to Pike County. And we wouldn't let them, we have a great team. We built that team with all of our, what I'm gonna say, all the agencies through communication. We wouldn't let those folks leave this time because we were in dire need ourselves. So I can't thank Justin and John for all of what they have done. If you get the opportunity, we would like to get some tours of our emergency operations center that we have. If you step in one of our ambulances, we're able to literally monitor every aspect of that from a central location as well, and back to any hospital in Louisville or the surrounding area who has the technology. And that's just a quick snapshot. We've got drone footage of the entire county, places that were wet, that weren't wet, and places where we've had disasters before. Apparently we did one heck of a job cleaning out the ditches and drains because they didn't have a drop of water. So May the 6th, we will have a presentation where we'll welcome anybody who wants to come. We're going to ask the news folks to be here as well. And I can't say enough about the communication that we did do throughout the community. I could tell our posts were shared by the other cities that were affected. Mayor Dangerfield, I don't know what to say about you except for thank you for everything. That guy's a real trooper. He was out there in water, we put in floodgates first time ever. I was there in 1992, standing on the railroad tracks when Al Gore promised a flood wall, and the flood wall was up. But you used the gates, and you're welcome to speak, Larry, if you want to, because I'm getting a little tongue-tied here for a minute.
First off, Judge, I thank you. I will take a moment. I know kind of out of order at the end of a meeting like this, but you just don't know how good I feel about what's happening in Lebanon Junction. When you say something about that, you feel great about something so devastating as it has been. And I'm just sitting here thinking, I can't write on this paper the names of the people as well. So the county, the judge, everybody, all through the board, the EMA, it's been phenomenal since we had our first meeting. We took off from there and just excelled and on. It just kept getting better and better and better. And as everybody said, if I list them, I would miss somebody because you just came with that kind of blood. But I'd like to personally thank the old department, fiscal court, EMA, everybody that stepped up. It goes down from the churches to the food, people come. When you got people, that many people, Lebanon Junction has many people in there working to fight against this, that you have them at our festivals. The town was packed. We had National Guard, we had people from out of state, we had people from down south, other states coming up, bringing the rescue. We had 8 boats on the water. And food, you had food around the clock. We had big places to keep the food going with everybody bringing the food trucks, as they said. And it reached out, and I've been through all of those. I'm gonna tell my age here, I was there as a child of 64. So in 97, and by raising the flood wall, and you don't get flood walls raised just by asking. I didn't have to go get the pump when I see it, I probably get that. But the flood wall being raised 2 foot, and I was there in 97 also. It actually saved downtown Lebanon Junction.
Thank you, Larry.
Thank you.
Okay. Karen touched on it. It's Easter this weekend. Remember our Lord. Long story short, it's Faith. Thank you for being here again today, Councilwoman. Mr. Waltz, thank you for being here. Brian and Kevin, again, we're pleased to see y'all here and all of y'all here for the meeting at this time. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. I got a second by First District Magistrate Sanders. Sam, call the roll, please.
Lawson?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Leamall?
Yes.
Judge Summers?
Yes.
Sanders?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you.